Hello class, my name is Caleb and today I'm going to be doing my informative speech on global warming and the effects that it has on our environment. I broke this up into three different topics. The first one is what are we doing about it, why global warming is a big deal, and lastly, the course of action for the United States. Global warming has accelerated our planet at rates that we have not experienced in recorded history. The impact of our future carelessness will surely impact our day-to-day lives for generations to come. Did you know that there is more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere today than at any point in the last 8,000 years? This fact may lead one to question what role do humans play in all of this and to what extent. The purpose of this project will be to raise serious awareness about global warming and to inform others on ways that they can reduce their carbon footprint. The relevance of this topic comes at a time when public perception of global warming is shrouded in distorted views that keep oneself from forming their own opinion. What we are doing about it. The Paris Climate Agreement was drafted in 2015 and is a global treaty signed by 196 different countries that aims at ensuring the global temperature increase does not go above 2 degrees Celsius. Scientists argue that in order to accomplish this tremendous goal, as a total we cannot emit more than 3.6 trillion tons of greenhouse gases. This includes water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, ozone, and nitrous oxide. According to a professor at Victoria University of Wellington in New Zealand, the emissions reductions required to stay within this budget remain extremely challenging. CO2 emissions would need to decline by 4 to 6% for several decades. Why global warming is a big deal. The USA makes up about 4.25% of global population, yet we are a leading environmental polluter due to America having to rely on coal power plants and hydraulic fracking, also known as fracking. According to EIA.gov, in 2019, approximately 23% of U.S. electricity was generated from coal power plants. This is important because coal power plants emit significantly more CO2 into the atmosphere than any other type of electricity generation. The CO2 emitted rises into the atmosphere where it eventually gets trapped, causing global temperatures to rise in what is known as the greenhouse effect. When carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere, it acts like a blanket preventing heat from escaping. This buildup of CO2 leads to one of the most obvious impacts of climate change. Declining water supplies, intense heat waves, widespread crop failures, and dramatic shifts in animal and plant ranges are all expected. If emissions increase, we could expect up to 8 feet of sea level rise by the end of the century. The Gulf of Mexico and east coast of the United States are experiencing some of the world's fastest rates of sea level rise. The United States course of action. The president has reversed many Obama administration environmental policies that aimed at regulating pollution. President Trump has given private corporations better leeway when it comes to how much environmental pollutants they can emit. These loosened restrictions lead to more environmental pollution and will cost the United States large sums of money to reverse the effects that we have seen in the last 3 to 4 years. The current presidential administration has completely rejected the idea that global warming even existed until just recently. They also just reversed a policy that regulated how much a company can emit methane into the atmosphere. If the United States were to get serious about stopping global warming, we would have to systematically revamp the ways in which we think about producing electricity. It would take decades of years and trillions of dollars to jumpstart an initiative that would make the U.S. a leader in greener renewable energy. According to Joe Biden's campaign website, Biden will lead the world to address the climate emergency and lead through the power of example by ensuring the U.S. achieves 100% clean energy economy and net zero emissions no later than 2050. The conclusion. The future of civilization rests solely on the premise that we soon do something to reverse the effects of climate change. Many disregard the urgency of the situation and base their thoughts on the idea that global warming won't affect them in their lifetime. This couldn't be any farther from the truth when we are already seeing the impact global warming has on our environment to this day. Governments on their own need to come up with cost-effective and energy-efficient ways to combat carbon dioxide and other environmental pollutants. Further blatant disregard for our planet will only lead to further destruction of our ecosystems. Therefore, we all must do our part in ensuring that this planet is still around for generations to come. Thanks everybody for listening. Have a good day.